All right, today I'm already laughing because I'm cracking myself up about this topic because I this is going to be a bit of a hard truth for a lot of you, right? This is a bit of that place of reflection, and I want you to ask yourself this question. If you were your own client, would you fire yourself or would you be thrilled with what you're doing? Okay? And what I mean by this is 90% of the time we are our own worst clients, right? Like, my past life, I was a hairdresser. Well, hairdressers make the worst clients in the chair, like without a doubt. I mean, actually, if you, I literally just got my hair cut and came home and recut the whole thing. So, we make the worst clients. We typically are our own worst clients. But let's talk about business, okay? Like, there's always those things in our clients that if they don't do it, or if they're not making progress, they're not taking action, we would say like it's time to fire them. If they're being a pain in the ass, if they're, showing up and they're not getting their work done, if they're driving you absolutely crazy, if they're constantly falling behind, if they're not maintaining the level of consistency, like there's things that happen, right? That we would say, you know what, I think it's time I fire this client. So I want you to put yourself in your own client's shoes. I want you to really truly ask yourself, if I were my own client, would I fire myself right now? And my husband and I share an office. So my husband hears me give advice all day long and constantly, kind of harping on some of my clients and giving that little hard truth. If you're my client, I've been, I can do that. Well, I just want you to also know that my husband gives it right back to me. Okay. And there is many times he would say to me, you would not be putting up with this from a client. What would you tell your client to do? And so I really want you to think about that. Like, reflect back on your past 60, 90 days. Like, look at the advice you would, if there's something that you're struggling with in your business, because the reality is like, ideally we are our own ideal client, right? Like, that's why we created our business, because we felt like there was a struggle, we felt like there was a need, and we've perfected it. And so there's different things, like our personalities are usually our ideal client. So I want you to really look back, like go back 30, 60, 90 days, whatever you feel is like worthwhile or convenient for you. And I want you to think about it. Like, if I were my own client, would I be happy with these results? Would I feel like I would want to be like ready to fire them? And what would I want to see differently? What would I want to see done differently in order to feel as though they were getting better results? And that can be very, very humbling. And also, like, look at yourself. I mean, I even did this with somebody the other day. I was having a conversation and I really felt like, this person doesn't value me for what I'm bringing to the table. If they don't see the value in this, like, how it's a no-brainer to me. And if they can't, and if you're watching this on video, I'm about to hold up a post-it note that says people either value you or they don't. That's on them, not you. And I had to take my own advice there, right? Like, I had to be my own client there for a minute, because in a minute I was like getting wrapped up in myself, and I was just like, you know what? If this were a client having this conversation with you, you would look at them and say, that's not on you. That's on them. If they don't value you, too bad. Move on. Get over it. Move on. That's on them. It's going to open up a new door for you. Like, right? I was having this conversation with myself as if I were having it with a client. And it can be extremely powerful in the growth of your business and working towards fully booked, because what you do in your own business, we never take our own advice. Look at a lot of these marketers and different things, like people that are in marketing, people even sometimes in fitness or nutrition, or it doesn't matter. Like, copywriters, I see it all the time. Copywriters that hate writing their own social copy, right? But they're good at it. Like, but they hate doing it because they do it so much for other people. So I just want you to really think about that. Like, ask yourself, if I were my own client, would I be happy with myself or would I want to fire myself? Because if you're looking back at your efforts and you're thinking, I would probably want to fire myself, then it's easy to make a change. Like, why? Why would you want to fire yourself? What are you not doing? What are you doing, or what are you doing that would cause you to feel that way? And figure it out, take action, move on, and get through it, right? Like, easy peasy. Let's just make it happen. And you can do this very, very easily. All right. And so that's what I really want you to think about. Like, are you your own worst client? Because We have to be like, even when it comes to setting boundaries, when it comes to scheduling your time, when it comes to scheduling your own admin days, when it comes to replying to, your clients, different things, all of those things, I want you to look at it. And if you are your own worst client, sit and figure out what you need to do to make a change. All right. Because let me tell you something, I have fired myself at least 10 times in the past couple of years. Trust me when I tell you, I am my own worst client a lot. So I am forever firing myself, whether that's me actually having a conversation with myself in the mirror, or it's my husband saying to me, you wouldn't put up with this from another client. Why are you even dealing with this yourself? Like, what would you tell your client to do in this situation? I can hear you. You would be telling him this. Like, I literally want you to hear yourself in those little voices in your head and just move on. All right. I'll talk to you soon.